Okay, 401k, retirement, it's all a scam. It's all a scam. Chances are, if you have a 401k, you are going to work until you die. It is actually heartbreaking to picture many people who are at retirement age today. They're staring at their 401k statements and they're saying to themselves like, oh my God, I still have to worry about how to pay my rent, how to pay my mortgage, how to buy food, how to buy my medicine, because as you grow older, you know, you have more medical issues. So why is 401k a scam? I'm going to tell you the background and the history. In 1978, the US Congress passed a law. They passed a change to the tax code. It's called Section 401k. And essentially, what this change did was to replace pensions, right? At that time, in 1980, more than 60% of American companies had pensions for their employees. More than 60%. By 2020, only 4% of American companies have pensions for their employees. So why is that? That Section 401k, with the passage of that law, companies realized that they could shift the risk of retirement away from themselves to their employees. And that was exactly what they did. The way to think about it is, instead of you to be guaranteed an income payment when you retire, it's essentially telling you that, okay, we're going to give you a piggy bank that you can start saving money and start putting money in. And hopefully, you know, you're going to be okay when you retire. It's essentially like a fund. The way to think of 401k is a fund. Once you put money in it, right, you're paying fees to the investment manager. So this is a big boon to Wall Street. This is basically a money giveaway to Wall Street, essentially telling them that they can help you manage your 401k. You didn't ask for this. You didn't have any, you know, there is no guarantees. If they lose that money, there's nothing they can do about it. It's essentially saying the best way to think about it is you go to a restaurant and you order food, it is $20. And then when they bring the bill, it's $30. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this. And we're not talking about, you know, the taxes or whatever that's in it. No, it's $30. It's like, no, why would I pay $30? That's exactly what this is. So when I'm talking about these fees, I know sometimes it may not seem like a lot, but let me put it to you this way. Let's say you're 35 years old, right? You're 35 years old and you have $100,000 in your 401k. And you're paying 1% in fees to like these investment managers, these Wall Street folks, these fat cats. You're paying 1%. Now, that 1% may not seem like a lot, but over 30 years, between the age of 35 and, you know, 65 when you retire, you will have paid over $170,000. $170,000. Now, that is just $100,000 example that I'm giving you. Now, think about that. If you're saving, like if you put in $200,000, $500,000, the compounding effect of that, you are paying that to Wall Street fat cats. So you have retirees that their retirement accounts have been raided. And that is exactly what will happen to most of our 401ks. I'm just keeping it real. We think we're going to have something sitting there for us when we retire. It's not going to be there. Most of that money will have been raided by these corporate raiders. Now you probably think to yourself like, no. You think to yourself like, no, come on. They said 401k, you have to, you get your tax deferred. They use all these fancy words, tax deferred strategies, like you can defer taxes, right? Oh yeah, that's true. You're not paying taxes on the money that you put in the 401k now. No, you're not paying taxes on it. Do you truly think that the government gives you anything for free? Like, you are a sucker if you believe that the government is going to give you, the IRS is going to give you something for free. They're going to give you free money. Like, oh, you don't have to pay taxes, put it in this 401k. You think they're looking out for you? You think they're looking out for you. Let me put it to you, let me crystallize it for you this way, right? If you've been putting money in your 401k for the past, I don't know, 20, 30 years, right? And say, when it's time for you to retire, you're looking at your retirement, your 401k account, you're like, wow, I have 2 million in there, I have 2.5 million in there. Guess what? When you start collecting on that money is taxable. Now the catch, there is also a catch. The catch is that because you will be in a different tax bracket, you would actually be paying more on you will actually be paying more tax on that money that you would have paid if you had just saved your money in some sort of index funds after post taxes when you earned it in the first place. So you're a 65-year-old guy thinking you owe $2 million, come to find out that really you're probably only gonna go home with 1.2 million. This is corporate rating, man. They don't tell you these things. So, I mean, I'm saying all of this. Now you're wondering like, okay, so I'm not winning. I'm not winning in this game of 401k, in this game of trying to save for my retirement, in this game of having something in my nest egg when I grow older, when I need it the most. So who is gaining? As I said earlier, one, the fund managers. The fund managers are gaining. They are the ones that are making the most money. The best way to think about these fund managers is that they are basically like ticket scalpers, right? People that are scalping tickets at concerts. They're making money anyway, regardless of whether or not the band shows up. It doesn't matter to them. They don't care whether your favorite artist shows up. They just got the ticket. They already gave it to you. They're not responsible. They're gone. That's exactly how these fund managers operate. That is exactly who they are. That is what they do. In 2020 alone, these folks made over $35 billion just from 401k. The fund managers, people that are managing these 401k funds, that are making all of these monies, $35 billion. That is what they just made for themselves. That is money that could be going to you. That's what these people make. There's no reason why they should be taking that money. That is theft. There is no reason why they should be stealing that money from you. Now, the second set of people that are winning are employers. Remember, it used to be that they were guaranteed, they used to have a pension so that they pay you. So they take care of that. But now that they've shifted all of that risk to you, they are off the hook. Sometimes they will throw you a bone and say, oh, we will match up to 2%, up to 3%. Sometimes, you know, they will max whatever they can match. But that's typically what happens. I mean, for these employers, man, especially some of these big employers, it's essentially thinking about, you know, going to a party and then somebody tell you to bring your own food. That's really what it is. It's like these big employers, crazy. They've shifted all of the risk. I mean, they've shifted all of that risk from themselves to you. So we are all on the hook. And then finally, the government, obviously, you know, they're letting you keep all of that money right now. Letting you keep all of that money right now so that they can actually get a bigger tax, so that they can actually get a bigger fees from you when they tax you when your money is bigger, because you're in a bigger tax bracket. So it totally makes sense for them. Now that I've said this, because I'm not in the business of, you know, just exposing some of these hidden things, I also have to tell you, or at least propose whatever solutions. What can you do? One, you should think about Roth IRAs. You know, with Roth IRAs, you pay your taxes now. It's post-tax income, post-tax money that you put in this account, and you enjoy your money forever. Another thing for you to consider is self-directed investment. Like, just put your money in some sort of index funds. Don't try and like pick stocks and all of that stuff. You will probably lose more, you're more likely to lose your money doing that. Like, just buy a basket of funds, put your money in there. Historically, those tend to do well, or they tend to do better, but that is one way, especially when you're talking about retirement accounts. That's one way to think about it. And the third is real estate. Real estate, especially commercial real estate. As a wise man once said, buy land because they're not making them anymore. Like, land is finite, right? That's why we keep buying, we keep building and stacking, right? Because there isn't more land. So real estate, whatever works for you, like, again, whatever works for you, do it. So there you have it, folks. 401k is not what they sold you. It's basically like a wolf in sheep's clothing. All right, on to the next video. Stay strong.